So it adds a lot more money to the cost of the building, foundation, the whole 9 yards.
If a person wants to build steel, I don't see a reason why they shouldn't be able to build steel, whether it's in an R1, if you want to build barn dominium, and you want to put up a 2,500 square foot barn dominium with a 1,000 square foot garage, you should, you know, that's only my opinion.
What are you talking about when you say steel? Are you talking about
Steel frame,
just steel outside or steel framing?
everything. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to build it out of steel if you so feel inclined to.
So you're gonna build a post and beam building out of steel beams?
No, you get a hold of a
It's
steel
big,
company,
it's
you
big
order your steel, you got
Texas
steel
and
rafters,
right.
steel walls, your interior is built out of steel studs that are pre-punched.
The idea of barn dominiums was to cut costs
No,
in building.
that's
That
the
was.
wrong mentality.
No, it
because
isn't.
Around here it is, maybe in other places it is
The
not.
idea
but
was
The
to build a
average barn
barn dominium.
dominium costs more money to build than a residential home.
no,
Depends on what you do with it.
I disagree with that, Charles. I think your information is not correct.
It's a national statistic. If you build it right, you put your heat in the floor, and you make sure you put the right foundations in.
An option. I did that in my last 2 buildings, I know what it cost.
So Charlie, you're saying that based on our current zoning with 800 some square feet of garage, it's prohibiting barn dominiums?
It's causing more of a dilemma than not. Our building inspector is the one that brought it up to me. Monitor right now is looking at changing theirs. Theirs is 920 square feet, and they don't believe that's large enough. Because the size of the barn dominiums, so far that are being built in this area, that has been an issue.
Well, if they, put it this way, Charlie, if they want to build in this area, they've got to go by the code here. Where they don't build a barn dominium.
And your variant, if you want to get.
You want a variance, you have to have it.
That worked out. Yeah.
Well, a minute ago you said if I had a big enough piece of land, I can build whatever I want, basically.
As long as it fits on the land and goes by the guidelines. It's like any other house. You're not going to put a 4,000 foot house on half an acre land.
Well, that's actually
Or
illogical.
4,000 square foot. No, it's an example of what you were just saying.
No, that's not what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You read between the lines.
Go ahead.
I
and
own 2
state-
acres,
state
and if I
pri-
want to put a 3,000 square foot building on my 2 acres in the center, a barn dominium, and I want a 1,000 square foot garage across the very back of it, and I want a covered porch on the front, I should be able to do that. That's the whole thing behind people that want to build these barn dominiums. They like outdoor entertaining, they make sure they have covered areas outside so that they can have a beautiful area. They go outside, you know, they can sit down, enjoy it, or inside, they can pull their equipment inside.
Then they come in and ask for a variance.
Yeah, but we shouldn't have variances for,
If it's a
variances
bit,
are for,
Excuse me, please, you mind keeping the comments down?
variances are
Thank
for,
you.
there was a guy that wanted to build a 5-car garage over on Shaw Lane, and the whole thing ended up going down. And I understand why, that's not the thing, but the point was, the garage was too big.
Well, we can- if
are you
want,
saying
we
the
can-
lower you're saying that lower level is deemed a garage, and that's,
No, what they end up doing in many of the cases, like there's one they put up over on 30, and the back half is garage space, and the front half is house with a 2nd floor level, and then they've got all the covered porch areas. Very nice units, but you know what? It's like, that's what I'm asking questions about, and you're saying it's all covered, so if it's all covered and there's no problem, next time somebody comes to me with their debacle that they heard from the building inspector, they're supposed to tear a building down, we'll revisit this and we'll do it with more vigor.
When was that done, Charles? How long ago was
That's
that?
been done in the last few years.
Was it something that was brought to the planning board? Did they bring in a set of plans to be approved, or they just go to the building inspector?
They weren't building a building, they were putting up an accessory building, and then they were gonna build their house, and he showed, no, it's a barn dominium now, because they told him you either tear it down or you convert it, and they converted it. But that's ridiculous, nobody should be given that ultimatum.
Okay, we can discuss that later, I don't want to get off on that tangent.
The permit shouldn't have been issued in the beginning when they came in. So, mistake, mistake, mistake. But that's where we have to tighten things up so that those types of
Well,
mistakes.
that's in the building department, that's not us. So, we have any other discussion on barndominiums, and does anybody want to make a motion to change anything, or we just had discussion and just leave it as is?
For tonight, I'm comfortable as is.
Okay, we'll just
Charlie,
table,
you want to
table it for
you
now.
want to bring,
I'd make a motion to accept the correspondence from Spicer,
Okay,
and that it be put in the back of our book on master plan.
okay, so hold on a second. So we're out of new business and we're done with barndominiums. Because if you're going to Spicer, that's under correspondence.
Go for it.
Well, I just want to do it correctly.
Nope.
Okay. So the correspondence we'll receive from Spicer will go on the back of the book as a memorandum, so if it's brought up again as far as the barndominiums, we have their take on that, and also our discussion on it. Do we have any other correspondence?
So, but is that not gonna be a motion then?
No, no motion on the bargaining, we're just tabling it for possible future discussion. Lisa, do we have any other correspondence?
Lauren, that email that everybody received, I believe.
What email's that?
On the short-term rentals.
Pardon?
On the short-term rentals.
The lady on South Beach, her name that I recall is Lauren. And it was brought up by trustee DeShano.
Okay, did we print that? I mean, who
No,
was it
it's-
sent to? Was it
We
sent
got
to the
it.
board or what?
we got all got it.
Everybody got it. Melissa, planning commission, supervisor, trustees, clerk.
Melissa forwarded it to me, so I didn't get it correct.
Well, we'll print out a copy and put it in with the correspondence and for the interminutes for next month.
Who's it from?
I'll tell you in 1 second.
Info on it?
Lauren, Loren, Sztazer. Sztazer.
It was concerning.
Short-term rentals, verbals, D&Ds.
Which we don't do anything with. I mean, a lot of the areas, some of the areas on Linwood Beach have deed restrictions, is that correct?
Deed restrictions.
Your area, isn't there deed restrictions on the lots down that end from Bowtell down? I understood that.
Sure.
Somebody came 3-4 meetings ago or so.
Last year that was brought
It was
up,
last
I
year?
thought.
The guy who had bought a house down there and turned it into Airbnb, and they came to the meeting wanting us to do something about it because they have a deed restriction. Well, we don't handle deed restrictions, only zoning stuff. So some of them already have deed restrictions as far as being able to use properties.
I haven't read my deed in 20 years. There's a lot of stuff
I heard
in
that
there.
there's one on yours, so, and that, only on that,
Yes, I
that
heard about
portion of
that,
the subdivision. So as far as Airbnb and any other verbiage as far as that goes, we don't have anything that is as far as zoning or that.
That's something we should address.
That's something, if you want to bring up for discussion in another meeting, we can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
So, we got the thing from correspondence from Spicer, that'll go in there, the one from the Linwood Beach, that'll go in there. Board meeting report from trustees, anything there concerning us? I'll ask a question, Mr. Eddy. Would you update on the Laterno and Resner properties, clean up on that? What does that entail?
Yeah, I've been waiting for the township on correspondences and
What-
stuff.
And what,
but
I don't know, where are those from your property?
The Laterno property is south of my place about a half a mile, and Resler property is on Letters, one house off of, to the east off of 15,
Gotcha, okay.
behind REI.
Oh, all right, I know what you're talking about now, all right.
And both are pretty much complete other than, just waiting for the stuff that was asked in my contract. That was accepted by the board.
Oh,
Supervisor's been a little.
okay, all right. I heard somebody just wanted to make sure I knew what was happening with that, so.
Well, the Laterno died, so his kid took over, Joe, and he finished the property.
He's got a roof on the house now.
You see the,
Thank God before all the rains got here.
Okay. And I do not, speaking of that, I don't have, for me report, do not have
and Rick, Mr. Schmidt showed up on that job site at Resler's and okayed it probably a month ago. So, just so you're aware,
Oh.
he himself,
to have the work done, is that what you're talking about? Or
no, to okay the court's ruling on blight. To say that
Gotcha.
I had removed everything that needed to be.
Oh,
He
okay.
stated a month ago that he would sign off on it.
Okay, perfect, thank you. I don't have a report from the zoning administrator, so I can't comment on what other stuff other than the couple things that were brought up at the. Planning consultant report, we basically got that from Jennifer at Spicer's. Okay, anybody else that wants to add anything else, you have 3 minutes. Any other public comment?
Matt, you want me to talk from here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so just listening to some of the definitions that you were talking about updating and stuff, I really think that would help greatly if some of the updates went back historically and viewed past ordinances so that people who've been in compliance for 60 years could still be in compliance because the ordinances have changed without those owners knowing so. So with saying that, I mean, a lot of stuff gets handed out by certain families in this township with no permits. So when you were talking about building and stuff, I mean, Dan Whelan's built a lot of stuff off Gloria Road. He's built a lot of stuff next to Eddie Brothers. He's cut off our water since 2013, and I mean, Don should know all about this. It was him who approved the pond back there. It was his company who hauled the stuff from S.C. Johnson back there. Stuff can happen without permits in this township. It shouldn't be just a select few who get away with it. I mean, I've seen the Whelans sorting through some stuff out there, but my water still don't flow in my ditch. It bothers me. I mean, my boy planted a bunch of corn out there this year. It flooded. I mean, a lot of things flooded, but the water don't need to sit back there. I've had Trustee Campbell behind our place and showed him the water sits stagnant. Why? Because of people who are privileged, people who are buddies with the supervisors. So when it comes down to fairness and variances, put the variances on the right people, the people who need the rules to change, or who just feel they're above the rules. I mean, I think safety, health, and welfare is a big thing for all. And when you're building a berm a half-mile long and running power with no permit, and you're building with no permits, there's some problems there. And I've talked with the building inspector, Richard Sabias, who Charlie has. There's power there in that family to be able to do that stuff with the supervisor, renting barn space to them, I mean, I get sick of this nepotism that flows in this township, and it needs to be fair for all. My family's been here for a long time, and it seems like it's okay to shun certain families out, and others just get accepted for whatever they do. And I don't think that's right, and especially when you think of where that material came from. Don's company profited off of that. He signed the permits with Eddie Brothers' address on that. I mean, he approved that. But do you think those emails have ever come up from 2015 that my lawyer has subpoenaed, has, you know,
Okay,
has asked
I thought,
3 times?
we're not gonna talk about the lawyer stuff.
I'm just
Any-
saying,
any-
that
any
man
stuff
right
that's
there
going on.
has a lot of control over this board, with Spicer. He deals with Spicer on a daily basis. Why isn't Spicer here?
She
Why,
couldn't
Rick?
make it tonight. I'm sorry.
Hey, how many
You want
have
to,
they-
would you like to see the email and I'll show you that?
How many
I
have they
asked her
made?
to come
Well,
to the
tell
meeting
you
and she
what,
couldn't make it.
Maybe
That's
not
why
the
she sent the
emails.
memorandum.
Why don't you show me all your text messages? Maybe that's the better part,
Text message for who?
for Spicer.
I do email stuff.
I got documents that show you text messaged them, and you're the one who provided them to Miss Urick.
The what?
You're the one who provided them to Miss Urick in her FOIA, that you text messaged Spicer.
I send them an email. They send, I showed all my emails
say
that I have
text
back and
message
forth
on
with
the emails.
Spicer. Pardon?
They say text messages on your emails. Just so you're aware.
Got it.
The emails you provided to her or Sherry. So, I just think it's enough BS with Don not providing one email with Spicer when he deals with them on a daily basis. I mean, when he used them to come against my family in 2015.
Okay, stop. I'm not gonna go
There's
there.
no,
I'm not
I'm not a
going there.
Wheeland, I know.
Right? I
know.
just simply asked some stuff to get cleared up. 'Cause
Let
I
me
thought
clear this up,
going,
Rick.
Let's
going
clear
to
this
that,
up.
so-
Let me clear. First, I'm an employee. I'm not the owner of Shaw Contracting. We just had an agreement to dump spoiler. That's it. Nothing more, nothing, there's nothing beneficial for us at all in this whole thing. Now,
Where did
cut-
it come from? Where I said,
Okay,
Jesse Johnson
okay, I'm
did
just-
No, it came from Beaver Road, to be honest with you. And get back to the point. The Beaver Road expansion, when we did the safety grant project,
the federal.
that's where it came from.
Yeah, you blocked
You don't
my
even know we have
water
your
off.
facts. When you get your facts, let me know.
You blocked my
I'm
water
not,
off.
okay, I'm cutting this
I didn't
off.
do nothing.
Just stop, both, okay? I'm not putting up with this. Okay, so no more public comment. Next meeting is September 14th at 7 o'clock, 7:56, and motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Yeah, I just had a look at it, so, yeah.
Isn't that funny how they're saying, oh, well, they need to follow the ordinance? And then what do?
They just hand them out. You don't need to file it.
In fact, there's no allowance